I attended to. We had the opportunity to discuss current issues with other school district leaders. This is very interesting. I'd also like to thank our local voters and volunteers for their continuing support. Our legislative representatives for advocating on behalf of Legislative District 19 Community Avondale City Council for their efforts in favor of public education. We're in a unique situation this year where many of our elected officials are running unopposed, so we can say nice things about them without being accused of influencing an election. We depend more than you know on all of these champions for public education. And as most of you know, the governing board's called an election to extend the capital override formula, which had been cut to our school district by a total of nearly $15 million through the recession to date. The question is being referred to continue with information technology, instructional materials, facility maintenance, and pupil transportation vehicles. The increase to property tax averages just less than 6 cents or under $6 a year for a $100,000 home. One of the things many people probably don't realize is we did some work to structure our budget this year so that people in their fall tax bills will see a big reduction in their tax rate from the Littleton School District this fall. If voters do not approve this question, then all of those things that I just listed will not be available to our children in our community. The students' computers and other materials will begin to wear out, facilities cost more to maintain, and our buses will age and cost more to upkeep in safe working order. So our board hopes that the state will begin picking up more of these costs in their formula in the future. In the meantime, we depend on our community. Now, voter registration ends in exactly 1 week. So if you haven't registered, we encourage you to do that. Mail-in ballots are probably going to be coming out to families over fall break. If you haven't registered, it's easy to do. You can go online to servicearizona.com/voter registration. You can probably do it on your phone right now if you want to. It takes less than 5 minutes. Registered voters who have moved can log on to and update their address, as the state law doesn't allow for election materials to be mailed to forwarding addresses, even if you've provided that to the post office. Voters who are not able to go vote in person can mail in their ballot through early voting, which starts next week and ends November 2nd. That's a few days before the actual election. In other words, there's no excuse for anybody not to vote. And we encourage people to be good civic role models for our children and use one of those options to make your voice count. Since the last superintendent's report, the Arizona Department of Education has announced that they'll be releasing letter grades for all the schools in Arizona probably by the end of this week, and it's for last year's grades. But the grade points have been designed so our students' growth doesn't really get the recognition it deserves. You know that data from the Reardon study at Stanford shows Littleton students averaging a year and a quarter growth for every typical year compared to the rest of the nation in grades 3 through 8. However, only 25% of our state's letter grade system measures our students' growth against other students like them. In that category, we earn the majority of possible points, but most of the formula is weighted to favor advantaged families. Schools working hard to serve families with fewer advantages miss out on higher grades in Arizona. While this is frustrating, our teachers and students are encouraged to shake it off like champions and continue to go above and beyond the call of duty to ensure students have everything they need to achieve. Miss Susan Knighton, for example, the band instructor at the Fine Arts Academy being highlighted tonight, did exactly that when she wrote several grants, I think, and received very much needed percussion equipment, sheet music for kids. Is this some of our percussion equipment we're seeing tonight, or is that's from another?
It's at a school where it belongs.
Okay. The University of Phoenix sponsored a creative writing contest called What is Fun in the lead up to Phoenix Children's Festival, which took place towards the end of last month. Miss Roberta Garcia's class over at Country Place Leadership Academy took on the challenge and submitted entries. Her class earned first place in the number of entries from a school and in a class. Each student in Miss Garcia's class got a free all-day ride pass to the festival, and the school won 100 books for the library, Also, Miss Garcia's student Giovanni Duarte won the 4th grade entry contest. So we're proud of Giovanni and Miss Garcia for encouraging students to write. And being a homegrown native champion that she is, she also organized an amazing career day at her school last month. Over at Tres Rios, the parent information night, the first parent information night of the year, was very well attended. Parents had opportunity to learn more about school focus and curriculum and were able to ask questions. Another highlight at Tres Rios was their parent English classes taught by Miss Laura Fernandez. Family members of Tres Rios students met twice a week to learn English language skills and prepare for parent-teacher conferences and much more. Kids at Hope activities are off to a great start at all of our schools. Country Place celebrated Sharpen Your Saw Night, where the kids sharpened their leadership skills with games and sporting events with family and friends. At Estrella Vista, nearly 400 parents attended their hobbies and recreation night. Students took the opportunity to sign up for one of 15 activity clubs at the school. Every grade level used an engineering cyclical process to design and create a collection jar to store pennies from the penny walk. At Collier, students and parents received information about sports and activities that would be available to them throughout the year. The Kids at Hope Home and Family Night at Littleton STEM Academy included board games, music, dancing, carnival games, and a robot computer science test drive area. Parent conferences are this week, and so as the first quarter draws to an end, so does basketball season. Boys and girls teams are in the middle of playoffs, which are happening last week and this week. The top-ranked boys team was the Quinton Sharks with a 6-0 record. Top-ranked girls team was the Collier Coyotes with a record of 5-1. Championship games are supposed to be held tonight, unless there was a rain delay or postponement. Is the game on? Yep. Game's on. Okay, so maybe we'll know the outcome soon. Volleyball season will begin after we return from fall break. But before I thank our generous donors, I'd like to remind parents who haven't scheduled that parent-teacher conference yet to contact your child's teacher and be part of that valuable activity to support both of them. In closing, I want to express our thanks to David Schwanke with Kiwanis of Litchfield for their donation of over 700 dictionaries for third grade students, and to the Mr. Eddy Foundation for their donation of $20 Walmart gift cards for teacher appreciation. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.